How does visualization help with that?
It is everything for me.
How so?
So if you're going to play an overseas tour, say to Australia or England or something like that, I literally sat down 2-3 months before and I've made a decision in my head that I'm going to take their best bowler on. And when I train in the gym, when I'm practicing, regularly there are visuals running in my head, me dominating that bowler. When I train, I have music on, I'm putting myself in a situation where that guy is bringing the heat onto me and I'm countering that, and that becomes such a reality in your head. And invariably when I went into that situation, I ended up dominating that guy in their own home conditions.
And what specifically are you seeing when you're visualizing?
I'm actually seeing smashing that bowler all over the field. So I actually feel that emotion in my heart, and I can feel that this is going to happen. And you tune your head or you tune your mind in a way that it's so convincing in your mind that when you're in that situation, your body just takes over because it's already registered in your mind. And when that happens, you feel like, wow man, this is so powerful. Because if something looks difficult and if you don't convince yourself to go out there and achieve the opposite, you're never going to be able to do it. You can't just land in a place and say, I'll see what happens. That way your chances of succeeding become very, very low. The thing that helped me that time was, and again it happened naturally, was visualization. 3 months before going to Australia, I started visualizing that I'm taking these bowlers on and I'm going to dominate and I'm going to come out on top. Just putting that thought in my head.
I think he scored 4 centuries, huh?
Yes.
They tried talking you out, but you gave it back.
Yeah.
I love that. And not just giving it back, you gave it back with interest.
So after, in 2014, we went to England and I had a very, very bad tour. But the next one was Australia, which was even more hostile and even more tough. So the thing that helped me that time was, and again it happened naturally, was visualization. 3 months before going to Australia, I started visualizing that I'm taking these bowlers on and I'm going to dominate and I'm going to come out on top. And that for me was a revelation where I had so much belief because of just putting that thought in my head.
I think he scored 4 centuries, huh?
Yes.
I was in Australia at the same time, man. I can remember we were doing the Big Bash.
Yes.
And I got in a few of the Australian faces, because just to see the way in which you stood up.
Yeah.
The Australians can be, in my opinion at times, be bullies.
Yeah.
They try talking you out, but you gave it back.
Yeah.
I love that. And not just giving it back, you gave it back with interest.
Yeah.
The way in which you performed. And I think that sort of set you up to believe, because I always felt if you can go to Australia and combat what they have there, you're gonna be okay elsewhere.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, did you also visualize a lot?
Yeah, man. There are times sometimes I used to tell guys, you see what you're gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow, this is how it's gonna be tomorrow. And as a batsman as well too, I felt that you got to be able to plan how you'd like to play.
Yes.
I always wanted to be one of the top players in the world, for sure. So I understood what it would take for me to maintain my form in all 3 formats, not just one format. And along, my early days in my career as well, there have been a lot of people who have doubted the way I've gone about my game. Even now, there are doubters and haters all around. But one thing is for sure, that I've always believed in myself. I've always believed in my heart that if I work hard 120% every day of my life, I'm not answerable to no one. And I think the reason I thank my teammates is because they've bought into it, and we all play with that kind of attitude. We don't care about what happens outside that change room door.
Every time I stepped onto the bus or I went to a practice session, I always had music on, and I kept telling myself, I'd got 8 ODI hundreds by the time, and I kept telling myself, I'm good enough to play at this level, and if I can get 8 hundreds in ODI cricket, I can manage this as well. So I kept telling myself, I'm good enough. And I ended up scoring 48 in the first innings and 75 in the second in that test match, in conditions that were very tough, and I was the highest run getter in that test match for us. That made me believe that the power of visualization and believing in yourself is so huge that we never tap into the potential of that fully. But it's only when you really put out all the distractions on the side and believe in yourself, you can do something which is not perceivable for people on the outside. So that was a big lesson for me.
मैंने अभी मेरा बुक्स में पहले इंटरेस्ट नहीं था. अभी मैंने एक बुक ख़त्म की है, द सीक्रेट. काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग बुक लगी मुझे क्योंकि वो लाइफ की कॉमन सेंस पे थी. जो हम लोग सोचते हैं डे टू डे लाइफ में, जो हमारा थिंकिंग रहता है, कैसे हम लॉ ऑफ अट्रैक्शन के ऊपर है वो, कि हम अपने थॉट्स से कितनी चीज़ें अट्रैक्ट करते हैं अपनी लाइफ में. और आप कितनी बार आप रियलाइज़ करेंगे कि आपने किसी चीज़ के बारे में सोचा कि मुझे एक दिन वो गाड़ी चाहिए और 6 महीने बाद वो गाड़ी आपके हाथ में होती है. तो एक विज़न रहता है कि आपने एक चीज़ सोच ली तो फिर एनर्जीज आपकी तरफ अट्रैक्ट करना शुरू कर देती हैं उस चीज़ को. तो वो बुक मैंने पढ़ी, मुझे काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग लगी.
Hey, it's me, Law of Attraction Club. I want to let you know that I have made an awesome library on Patreon that contains many books on the law of attraction, the power of the mind, visualization, hypnosis, money, success, and much more. With our library, you can skip hours of searching for the right book and reading through them. All the resources you need to master the law of attraction are right here in one convenient location, and you will also be supporting this channel. If you want to join the Law of Attraction library, click the link in the description. Thank you.